Bitcoin to the moon. $100,000 might be closer than we think.
It might hit it today.
It might hit today. It might have already hit as we're posting this video. It might have already hit 100K and then it dropped to 1,000. I'm just kidding. But
that happens.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, because it's all about the brain, right? Sometimes people say that $100,000 and they're like, I'm gonna pull out, and then it just dips a little, right? Just like when the stock hits $1,000 or $100 or whatever, it's stock market investing. If you're doing day trading and all that, it's a lot of it has to do with the brain, psychological. If you're a long-term investor into Bitcoin, you don't really care if it hits 100,000. You just leaving it and letting it ride. And that's what, these are two funny examples of, Nayib Bukele. He's the president of El Salvador.
Dang, you said his name good.
Yeah, Nayib Bukele. He's the president, right? And he invested a lot of the, country's money, which a lot of people were criticizing him because it actually went down a little. But
it did. It was like, well, now that we're close to 100, it wasn't that terrible timing, but it was.
Yeah. At the time, it felt like, wow, why would he buy now? This seems like it's the high. Yeah. It's the peak. But his investment is already performing really well, over 100%. And he posted this on his story. Well, not his country's investment. I wonder how that works. I wonder if Congress had to approve it or what. But he posted this with the kissing emojis, and he's like, to the moon, basically. Yes, it's crazy. It's more than doubled the initial investment. And then Odell Beckham, who's a football player who took part of his
his salary
in Bitcoin. A lot of people criticize him because as soon as he did, there was a little period, I think it was 2022, when everything, not just crypto, but
it was
stock market
kind of on the top.
It went down, and now it's like he posted. So who said taking my RAM salary in Bitcoin was dumb again? So it's just hilarious, some people, saying Bitcoin, and that it's a peak. Because we were at a school the other day and a teacher asked us, so what do you guys think about Bitcoin? That's where I get afraid. I'm like, oh, okay, might be a little correction soon, because when everyday people start asking, FOMO, curious about, should I buy Bitcoin? So that's literally happened yesterday.
It's always like that. It's like back in 2022 or 2021, 2022, around there, everybody thought like, oh my God, it's going to hit 100. It's going to hit 300. People were posting like these charts that supposedly
1 million by the end of the year.
There was even like, pastors that were even telling people about cryptocurrency and how this is this and that. And it was just like, what is going on? And who knows if we're is this a top? Because one thing that I learned about crypto is this can keep going until you least expect it and it drops. But we're almost at 100, and even like the most famous critic, what's his name, Peter Schiff, he has a post that I think back in 2022 that he said crypto will never hit 100K, and now we're literally inching at it. I don't know. It's a very speculative asset, but one thing that I learned is in this last election, a lot of crypto investors helped and fund a lot of campaigns for pro-crypto candidates. And actually, they had 50 candidates that they wanted to run different seats in the House and the Senate. 48 of them already won. So there's a lot of people now that have a lot of power and influence in the U.S. government that are pro-crypto. I don't know. There's definitely there's a lot of wins. It's like if you see here, like after Trump won office, here you go. Ever since Trump won office, crypto has gone up 42%. Doge has gone up 128%. Coinbase has gone 52%. And you see it again, like the people that weren't posting that much throughout these last 2 years on social, again, you're starting to see their face. Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is back on there. So yeah, it does feel like we're getting a little bit toppy.
A little FOMO. We're entering that FOMO because, two perspectives. Like I said, we had a teacher, we were at a school, and they asked us, so what do you guys think? Should we invest into Bitcoin? I was like, oof. That's where I'm like, man.
To the kids or to you
Ask us. Yeah, not to the kids. And then another day, I was talking to another person, different perspective about crypto. And then they're like, no, because, it's that Satoshi guy, he could just pull all the money and then it's gone. What do I do? So I think right now, most older people are probably like run away from Bitcoin as much as possible. But younger people, even younger than me, I'm thinking about like people like my niece, not Penelope, but Mariah. She's
They're
probably
talking about
the kids know about crypto more than they know about a Roth IRA. So what does that tell you about the future of the average person that earns any money? Where are they going to be putting it?
versus gold,
Yeah, versus gold, silver, and all that stuff, or traditional investments.
And this social media brew market posted this, how, we were pretty much no interest in Bitcoin, but literally it's going up. People are Googling, how do I buy? Or just overall interest in Bitcoin is starting to spike up even higher than it was previously. So yeah, there's definitely FOMO out there.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing people see why that crypto can, potentially do well in the next couple of years or so is there's a lot of people, like you said, and that are in office or people that are quitting that were anti-crypto. Like, what is that guy's name? Gary Gensler. He said he's going to quit, and he was pretty hard on crypto, right? And I think this guy, right, the vice president, JD Vance, he owns like 500,000 or $1 million in crypto himself. I don't think Trump owns any crypto. But so when you think about stuff like that, is that like a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Yeah,
Where could
there's a lot of pro crypto people, It's like here, I have this other post that Pennsylvania House of Representatives introduced a bill that would enable the state to hold Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So it isn't like official, but they're passing or introducing these bills or just having conversations. It's like, hey, this thing is no longer that like, this is not going to work. There's serious and important people that are like, hey, how can we, put Bitcoin as a reserve asset? That is like,
I still think, though, the craziest thing about Bitcoin is that Satoshi person that invented Bitcoin or whatever.
It's invisible.
Yeah, he's invisible, but he's the largest holder of Bitcoin.
And did you know that his wallet hasn't moved for like, I don't know, since like the early, and it just recently started to get moving. So that's why, yeah, it's just like the only thing with crypto is, or with Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin, because there's a lot of crypto out there, like Doge, that it's just a joke. But Bitcoin, there's a lot of like smart, intelligent people that are for it, that speak highly of it, that own it, that tell other people the importance of this new technology. But at the end of the day, it's still risky. So that's why don't pour all your money into it. Keep it simple. It's like, even then, the smart people, they tell people just keep 1 or 2% of your money into this, because at the end of the day, just like we learned in 2022, it could go from 60, 69, I think it hit, and it dropped all the way to 16. Yeah. So don't put all your money thinking we're going to hit the moon. Dollar cost average, but keep it very simple and just learn more about it.
Yeah, too many people fall into the trap that like, oh, look, the president is pro-crypto. Mike Caselia is crypto. These guys are pro-crypto. Oh, that means Bitcoin's going to go to the moon, $1 million per Bitcoin.
But there's this other chart. Here's another time that Michael Saylor was supposedly the smartest man in the room, was back in 2000. And his company, MicroStrategy, has been flat. It wasn't until he started talking about crypto, Bitcoin specifically, his company buying, selling shares and buying Bitcoin and holding it in their company, it's going up again. And it's not going up like little by little, it's going straight. So it is kind of scary, because what if he's such they call him a big whale that holds a lot of Bitcoin, and he sells it or he does something, or there's a huge crash and the people that were holding, they get worried and they sell, because at the end of the day, that's the only reason why people hold Bitcoin. They're holding Bitcoin because they want to get rich. They're not holding it because I don't really see a lot of people using it as a utility in the sense of like sending money here and there or buying things with crypto. There's countries like El Salvador that are trying to help people do that. There's people also in Africa that hold it as a reserve currency because their own currency is getting devalued worse than here. So the only way that they're able to, hold their money to hold its value is they put it into crypto assets, and Bitcoin is one of them. So there are pros, and I do see why people love and use Bitcoin, but it's still risky. It's
Yeah.
like you said, who is this Satoshi guy? No one even knows.
What if it's the government?
That they do say that. What if
Yeah.
it's the government? The CIA created this, Yeah, it's keep it simple. Don't feel FOMO. If you want to invest into this, I would say keep it very small.
Yeah. Don't fall into especially the crypto scams where it's like, look, this is the new Bitcoin and it's gonna go to the moon.
Yeah.
Because we've seen them, yes, like the Pepe, the Shiba Inu, and all the the memes that.
Well, also
be
like
careful.
even FTX.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember. This guy was legit.
Genius.
He was a genius. He was meeting with Gary Gensler, trying to figure out how to pass bills and all that. And it turns out that he was actually scamming, and everybody lost maybe millions of dollars, if not $1 billion. They lost. So it's not 100% safe. That's why don't put all your money into something that you don't even understand. If you feel FOMO, just almost relax. Trust me, investing is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Keep it simple, don't overstress, and learn more about it.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. So I know a lot of articles are talking about Bitcoin to 100,000 and all that. Just like any other investment, just educate yourself and make sure that you're making the right decision for your future.
Yeah.
No one gets rich overnight, and if they do, it's really risky. But what were you going to show there? What's that?
No, it's just like crypto over time, it is going up and up and up and up. And every time that hits a bubble, if you see here, there's a bubble, and then there's a period of time that people say it's dead, it's over, so there is some lot of pros to it, like of course people who bought it at $10 or $100 or $1,000 right now that it's hitting 100K, they're celebrating. But be careful. If you don't understand it, be careful.
Yeah, so we just wanted to end them with that. Maybe by the time you watch this video, it already hit 100,000. Maybe it still hasn't. It needs a little bit more. But we'll see what happens because right now, Bitcoin is like that chart says, it's one of the largest assets in the world.
Yeah. And supposedly they want to be like the new gold. Gold is the number one asset, But one thing that's different between gold and Bitcoin is Bitcoin, they know exactly how many Bitcoin are out there, and there's not going to be any more Bitcoin. If you want to learn deeper, watch those videos. They'll explain it. But there's only a limited amount of Bitcoin. That's why they use it as an inflation hedge. Unlike gold, they can maybe find more gold. They can mine more gold. So that's why they say eventually Bitcoin is going to surpass gold, which would be nuts if that happens.
Yeah, so we just want to end off right there. So hopefully you guys are making good decisions. Don't just go into something because everyone else is doing it, right? Your grandma, your grandpa is investing into Bitcoin, so now you are.
Hey, those people that have been holding since the drop of 2022, they're going to go to Thanksgiving dinners and be like,
yep,
I told you, and that's going to create more FOMO.
Yeah,
it's like the perfect time. We're about to enter the holiday seasons where people are like talking and hanging out with friends and family, which I think is going to create a lot of FOMO. Be careful.
Yeah, so be careful. Yeah, don't just take someone's advice just because they told you to the moon. So hopefully you guys watch this video. As you're watching it, please like, subscribe, comment, so that we can continue posting content like this. That is, we're just showing you information, the data. We're just trying to be a news resource for you, and also inform you guys about what's going on in the world and educate you when it comes to financial literacy. So we'll take you guys on this little journey in this next other episodes that we do. So we'll see you guys in the next one.